Members of the Senate, including our next guest, getting closed-door briefings yesterday about the 4 objects and at least 1 Chinese spy balloon that were shot down by the U.S. military over the last 8 days. Joining us now for more, Oklahoma Senator and member of the Homeland Security and Governmental Affairs Committee, James Lankford. Senator, great to see you.
Yeah, good to see you again.
So, Senator, tell us, what did we learn from these classified briefings yesterday?
We learned not much, actually, from the classified briefings, other than they're looking at it in the administration, and they'll tell Congress and the American people when they feel like it. It's a very, very frustrating briefing on this. We had some very basic questions about how did you identify these objects, what was different about them than normal. People lose track of the fact this is what's called unidentified aerial phenomenon. That's a new term that's been out there for a few years. We've had 250 of those over just the last 2 years. 250 times we have an unidentified aerial phenomenon. Our most basic question is, why did you shoot these 3 down? We know the Chinese spy craft. We understand that one full well, but we're asking the question, what were different about these 3 than about the previous 247? And we couldn't get the most basic of answers on this. They literally couldn't tell what they were, and so they shot them down. We don't know whether they were a foreign spy craft or whether they were a giant gorilla inflatable balloon from a used car lot that had floated up. We have no idea.
It's so bizarre. These are questions that journalists ask: who, what, where, when, why, how. And I think most of people that I know and across this country are asking who sent them, why, where'd they come from. Take a listen to what your colleague, Senator Tom Cotton, had to say.
Where's the president been? Justin Trudeau went out and spoke to the people of Canada over the weekend. I'm not saying he has to go to the Oval Office. I mean, he can go to the press room. He can do a press huddle on the south lawn of the White House, but he needs to speak directly to the American people to answer their concerns and their interest in this matter.
Senator, the first balloon, the Chinese spy balloon shot off the coast of South Carolina, was shot 11 days ago, so February the 4th. How surprised are you that we have yet to hear from Joe Biden?
Well, I'm not surprised because the president doesn't want to be able to talk about this and explain all the reasons that he hesitated. With the Chinese spy balloon, we knew it was a spy balloon. It was clearly seen as a spy balloon. It was seen over American waters in Alaska before it ever reached in anything over Alaskan land itself. We should have shot it down when it reached American waters. And instead, he hesitated at the moment he needed to act. It went all the way over Alaska, all the way over Canada, and then started scanning our nuclear missile silos in the northern United States. It was a huge mistake based on pure and simple his hesitation when he should have acted. He doesn't want to answer that question publicly. He's hoping this will just go away.
Marco Rubio tweeting out, in the 65-year history of NORAD, we've never shot down an aircraft over U.S. airspace. Now, in the last 10 days, we've shot down 1 balloon and 3 objects. Are you at all concerned for our national security?
I am concerned, first off, for that Chinese spy balloon. That's the biggest issue. For these other 3, we literally don't know what they were or why they chose to be able to shoot these down, different than the previous 247 in the last 2 years. There are things that are floating up there. Most of them are just benign. They're, weather balloons, whatever it may be, but we don't know what these are.
Right.
And so we've got to be able to find out what they are, and the administration needs to come out and explain it.
Yeah, no private company, by the way, has come forward to claim ownership over the 3 unidentified objects that were shot down. If they were weather balloons, you'd think somebody would come forward and say, hey, that belonged to us.
That's mine.
Okay, Senator, I want to talk about this inflation report yesterday. You're on the Finance Committee. President Biden yesterday seemed to be optimistic about inflation falling, by the way, to 6.4%.
Today's report on inflation shows the good news is that inflation in America is continuing to come down. It's fallen 7 straight months. There's more to go.
Okay, when he took office, it was 1.4%. The Fed has a target rate of 2%. Why is he so optimistic about 6.4%?
Well, didn't you feel it last month? It went from 6.5% to 6.4%. So I'm sure the American consumers felt that 0.1% in their pocketbook. The price of eggs still up, price of milk still up, price of gasoline still up. He goes back to what it was at its peak. The simple fact is, while President Biden has been in office, just the 24 months that he's been in office, prices for everything have gone up 14.5% in just the last 24 months. 14.5% we all feel, and we know what that means to us. And he's celebrating 6.5 to 6.4. Hey, listen, I'm glad to see down at all. But what's really happening is inflation continues to stay high. very high, and the American people feel it. He's trying to say, hey, don't believe your pocketbooks and what you're spending. Believe me, what I'm saying.
Yeah.
And the American people know what they feel.
We have seen a lot of that, Senator, over the last couple of years, haven't we? Good to see you again, Oklahoma Senator James Lankford. We'll do this again soon. Thank you.
You bet. Good to see you again.